Hey everybody, Italo here from Roia Moto, and today I'll show to you how you can use the Roia Moto Trail Jack to lift the front wheel and the rear wheel of your motorcycle. To raise the front wheel, let's turn off the motorcycle, get the key off just to be safe, put the motorcycle on a side stand and make sure that you're on a level, solid and non-slippery ground. We need to block the rear wheel from rotating, so go ahead and kick the motorcycle in gear. You need to locate on your motorcycle, which might be different from mine, especially if it's a different model, or maybe you have some crash guards installed, some bash plate installed, but you need to locate a strong and solid mounting point for the cradle head that is here at the top of the trail jack. It's important that this location to raise the front wheel should be towards the front of the motorcycle, and also the location that you're going to choose should be towards the right side of the motorcycle. So on the left side you have the side stand, and on the right side that's where we're going to tilt the motorcycle towards the side stand using the trail jack. Here on my CRF, the tubular frame is a good location. You'll see that the cradle of the trail jack has a concave shape, so it can go like this. And of course you want to find a location where there is no risk for the cradle to slip off. So for instance, here where there is this angle, I wouldn't mount it in here, I will just want to slip off. Once you have found the location, now we need to adjust the total height of the trail jack. And it is very easy to do with our trail jack. You have this spring-loaded button and you can just move it around to find the correct height. So it can get quite tall in here and go all the way, so it gets quite long, or I can reduce it just by pressing the button pin. So on this height that I have now, it would be too low. So I'm going to go for the next hold. And here I'm on the next hole. So you see that it is slightly taller than the frame of the motorcycle. Make sure that your handlebar is fully locked to the left. I already know where I'm going to go with my trail jack, so I'm going to do this movement in here. So you see the wheel is already off the ground. So it's exactly this here, okay, that I'm doing. So as I push in here, you want to make sure that the mounting point that you choose, and when you slide the trail jack underneath of the motorcycle, the trail jack is as vertical as possible. So a little bit of an angle is not a problem. Even mine has a bit of an angle, but you don't want to have this at an aggressive angle, as you risk just the trail jack slipping off. And then here you can see that the front wheel is lifted. Before you start working, go ahead and just gently shake the motorcycle to make sure that it is really stable and that the trail jack does not slip off. To lift the rear wheel of the motorcycle, turn off the engine, get the key out, put the side stand and make sure that you are on a level, solid and non-slippery ground. Now we need to lock the front wheel of the motorcycle. Together with your trail jack, in between the outer tube and the cradle head, there's going to be a provided Velcro strap. Just get the Velcro strap out, and then we're going to use the Velcro strap to pull and keep the brake lever in its pulled position. So, optionally, if you don't want to carry anymore the Velcro strap, you can also use one of our Roia Moto straps. I like to use this to fixate the toolkit here on the rear of my motorcycle, so you can also use this. Let me show to you. Like this. Now you need to find a good spot on your motorcycle that is solid, strong, but towards the half rear of the motorcycle. And that's where I'm going to put again the cradle head of the trail jack. Here on my CRF 300L, I like to use the linkage of the suspension. Could be different on your motorcycle, so just adapt as needed. So here's a good spot on the Honda CRF 300L. And once again, you're going to use the spring-loaded push button to adjust the height. And you want to have it a little bit higher than the location you're going to mount. So if you see in here, it is too short. If I go one hold up, still too short. That's looking right now. That's where I'm going to set the height of my trail jack. This time we are going to push towards the side stand, but that is pushing from the back towards the front of the motorcycle. So my exhaust pipe here is not hot, so I could use it in here, but just pay attention, you need to find a good place for you to push. So there it is. Now, my rear wheel is still engaged with the gear, but you can see here that it's already lifted from the ground. The Roia Moto Trail Jack will come with an instruction material, so make sure that you read before the first use. And a tip here for you that is quite important: if you're planning on removing the rear wheel or the front wheel, before you undo these nuts, and that require quite a lot of torque, I recommend you, before you put it on a trail jack, you just break the nut or the bolt loose. Once it is loose, you don't need to remove it. Then you go ahead and you lift it using the trail jack. That's just to make sure that you are not trying to brake up to upwards of 100 Newton meter with the motorcycle lifted onto the trail jack. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just leave a comment down below or reach out to us at royamoto.com. Ride safe, and I see you on the next one. Bye bye.